ATP, thank you for hanging out. I'm Ransom Ryder. This is my favorite game. Tell
Yeah.
us a little bit about yourself to get started.
So hi, my name's ATP. I've been playing Destiny for 10 years. I started playing it in D1 2014. I'm 24. I have a chemistry degree,
Oh
and
my
in
God, no wonder your stuff's so smart. I wondered about that. I wondered about you make smart moves because you're a smart guardian, chemistry degree. So you
yeah,
graduated what, last year, ATP?
2022, so 2 years ago now.
2 years ago.
Yeah,
So you are in the real world and you're out there making the living, making your way.
that is correct. Yeah.
And you are not a full-time streamer, but you still put a lot of hours into content creation and streaming.
Yes, I do. It's like my number one hobby, I would say, is streaming. So if I'm not hanging out with friends or doing work, I'm usually streaming.
And just as you mentioned hobbies, what would be some of your hobbies in the real world?
I also cross stitch. I've done
Now, are
cross
you
stitching
pulling
before.
my leg, or are you a cross stitcher for real?
No, I'm not pulling your leg. I can actually send you a photo. I've made a unicorn. I've made a Witch Queen Savathun mask, and I've also made a dragonfly and a penguin.
Guardians, I'm pulling my mouth up off the floor because this is like the most unusual hobby out of a lot of questions I've asked a lot of gamers. I'm shocked. I'm shocked. I'm delighted. I'm all of the above. ATP, send me a picture. The Sabathoon, I love Sabathoon. We love to hate her. Send me that because I would enjoy seeing that. I mean, I have a chair downstairs in the main living room that needs a new bottom. Maybe, maybe I can do it in Sabathoon. It could be a gamer chair. Uh,
Here, check
if
check your message requests on Discord. I just sent you it.
I will take a look at it. I will take a look at it. Guardians, these revelations, they're getting juicy. They're getting juicy. All right. Now, ATP, thank you for catching us up a little bit about that. I love to hear a little bit of information. And you probably discussed this with a lot of your viewers because you have a lot of followers across social media. It's really astounding. How long have you been live streaming the game? You started when?
I started consistently live streaming at the end of 2021 in October, but I've been streaming like I my first stream was back in 2017, but I wasn't consistent until about 3 or 4 years ago.
And how often do you now try to stream? How often do you want to get in there and do some fun things?
I would say 4 to 5 days a week is
Wow.
typically my goal.
So really, it's a passion of yours when you're streaming that often.
Yes,
That's
yeah.
why you
Well,
have so many fans. They've been able to hang out with you.
it helps when you're passionate about the game as well. Because as you said, you love Destiny 2, and I love this game as well. So it that really helps.
All right, then we at some point now, ATP, we will have to play together. I love to be able to observe inside the game and watch folks play. First question here, ATP. Looking back at your career in Destiny, what is your best moment?
I would say I'd have two. One would be doing the original solo flawless Ron with the 2 second lockout, because that one took me over a month basically of attempts. The other one I would say was getting day one Spire of Stars, and I did that on Xbox, and that was a very tough day one raid.
And Xbox probably made it worse.
Yes, yeah, 30 frames.
I'll just say that, Guardians, because I was playing Xbox at the same time that raid was out. And I enjoyed that raid. So your absolute the top moment was then the Root of Nightmares triumph.
Yeah, I would say that's higher up than doing the day one Spire. They're
It was
close though.
more
They're
it was more
close.
challenging, wasn't it, ATP, to do Root of Nightmares?
Definitely. And the 2 second lockout, because I'm sure you remember when you would swap, there was like that really long lockout between weapons. That made it super tough.
But I was amazed at gamers like you, ATP, who did that because I just tried to stay alive. You know, it was shoot a cabal and run, shoot a cabal and run, and trying to stay alive. Okay, now, best moment behind us, but let's move forward. Some of us have talked about really a worse, a rotten moment that may have happened to you inside the game. Do you have one that you could share with us?
I can't really think of one off the top of my head. I'm not sure. The honestly, the first thing that comes to my mind is Day One Deepstone with the Not That One clip with Rick Cactus. I don't know if you've seen that.
Well,
Um,
I watched Caucus HD for years and years, and for some reason, I think I had switched over my account, and then he fell off. So I probably saw it, but he
yeah,
fell off my list. And I think Rick Caucus fans don't come for me because I know he's got millions. I think he's 1.2 million on YouTube. And I do really like Rick Caucus. I think he's a joy to watch when I see him. But my first one that I go to for humor and fun, I always check what As the Cross has put up because I love the way he says, he screams out that another day, another twab thing. Or has he changed it to This Week in Destiny? I think he still says twab. I don't know. But I like As the Cross. I like Caucus. So you were on the day one raid team with Caucus HD.
for Deepstone Crypt, yeah.
And for
Deepstone Crypt,
Deepstone
yeah.
Crypt, and you were what, like 20 at that point?
Yeah, that would have been 2020. So yeah, I would have been 20.
20
Actually, I
years
would have just
old.
turned 21.
And did
Yeah.
you at that time, ATP, did you realize like how important that was and what a position that Caucus HD held in the community of Destiny? Were you aware of like who he was and how great it was to be there?
I was in his clan actually. So yeah,
Oh,
I
you
did.
were
I
really?
yeah. Yeah, I'd done Prophecy right when that launched with him as well. And I think the first like indication of that was when I was in his guide video for Prophecy.
And I watched that video. I watched that video. Now, I watched some of your videos just recently, and you were wearing this. Guardians, let's take just a brief moment to look at ATP. Is this Vogue worthy? Is it Vogue worthy? ATP is a hunter awoken at 1834, running the Night Stalker Void subclass using Warden's Law Adept indebted kindness with Volt Shot and Beacon rounds. Using Galahorn, I have this exact combo with me. I don't have Warden's Law Adept on, but I use it often. Indebted Kindness is a jewel of a weapon. And I'm going to call it right now. If you disagree, leave a comment on the live stream or later on the video. Indebted Kindness, king of all sidearms. I don't even really know. I know a lot of people say Forerunner, but this is a legendary, and it basically fires rockets. I'm in love with this weapon. ATP is a 17 on mobility, a 103 on resilience, a 106 on discipline, running the exotic Lucky Pants. ATP, show them what the light can do, buddy. You look absolutely fantastic. I noticed this in your video. This is Callus worthy. It's Callus worthy. And if you played Leviathan, we all know that Callus had some of the most phenomenal color shaders and beautiful armor. And I think Callus would pull up a chair for ATP and say, sit with me, because this looks absolutely phenomenal. All right, I am excited to hear that about you, that you played with Rick Caucus. Now, Unparalleled, tell me a little bit about that.
So this
Your
is actually
clan.
my friend's. This is my friend's clan that I met in year one of Destiny. It's a PvP clan. I'm like the only person in this who plays PvE. That's honestly that's basically it. Is everyone in this clan is like a 3.0 in PvP, and then there's me who's like a point 0.9.
Oh, you're right there in
Yeah.
my ballpark. I think I'm like, a point 0.8 right now because I goofed off for a little while. I was having some fun in there. But that's okay. The game, fun, 62% of the time, scientific fact, we're serious. The rest of it, it's total good times and fun. Now, ATP, if you
Yeah.
were out and about on the street and you ran into someone that was considering being a gamer, a streamer, a live streamer, what would be your advice to them?
Go for it and be consistent. Like do what you love. Even if like the I would say especially when you're starting out streaming, getting the first 5 viewers is the hardest part. So
And
don't be
and do you mean
discouraged.
that via Twitch or YouTube or both?
Both.
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 And are you active on multiple platforms? I know I see you on X a lot, but what are some of the other platforms fans could find you?
X, Twitch, and YouTube are the main ones. I don't really use TikTok. I don't use any of the other stuff. It's mainly just those three.
And if you were thinking back on your career, what has been a big surprise for you? What was unexpected in Destiny? And it could have been a great surprise or a not so great surprise. What was the surprise? Tell us what it would have been.
I would say, at least in terms of my streaming career, I would say the biggest surprise was it was back in 2021, is I was just running GMs for fun, and Leopard raided me, and I was like, this guy even knows who I am. What? And that was a huge surprise. And he said that he had watched some of my solo GM guides or solo GM videos as well, and that caught me really off guard. That someone that I looked up to for streaming rated me and said that he had watched some of my stuff.
ATP, it's a good feeling, isn't it?
Yes.
If you were looking at your career and your skill set, and they are many, watch the videos, check him out in his streams, like, follow, give him thumbs up. They're important algorithms. We must conquer them. What gaming skill would you like to improve for yourself?
Accuracy.
Accuracy,
mainly in
getting those
mainly in
critical
PvP.
hits.
Yeah, mainly in PvP, but yeah. I SMGs and auto rifles have been so dominant in this game that in the past year or two that I find that when I swapped to needing to use hand cannons more, I couldn't really hit my headshots as frequently as I used to be able to. So I'd say accuracy with hand cannons.
Accuracy with hand cannons. And what is, if you had to pick three weapons that you leave the tower with, what would they be?
Right now, it's Warden's Law, Indebted Kindness, and then the other half sword
And is
with
that the
Eager Edge.
sword? Is that for mobility purposes?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I wished I could do that, Guardians. I've practiced with some of the best mobility experts inside of Destiny 2, and I just have to be faster. I have to be faster. Maybe macros and all that kind of thing could help me. If I used my keyboard, maybe I could punch some numbers or some letters and do better with it. Some general, just fun time questions. What is your favorite gamer foods? Now, we all know the raid is coming up, ATP, and I've already heard some information about the team that you're going to be on. But if you're in your gamer chair and you're going to be there for a while, what would you have at your side? What would be your gamer foods that are at your side?
I make ham sandwiches beforehand, and I have those with me. The other thing I have now, this is horrible, is I will have like potato chips,
And what kind of potato chip?
plain.
Those can be so greasy. Lay's,
Yeah,
you can't eat just one, but Lay's potato chips, I do really like them, but I stay away from them because they can ruin your keyboard and your controller. Have a napkin handy. Have a
yeah. Well,
napkin
I
handy.
I do, I do, and I'm addicted to potato chips. So
Now, if you were given the choice of any vacation, dream vacation, where would it be?
I'd want to go to Italy.
Italy. Italy, such a beautiful country, phenomenal. And craftsmanship in Italy, top notch. Your favorite movie, ATP?
Oh, that's a tough one. I don't really have a favorite movie.
Give me your top
Um,
three.
Top three. Well, I was really into Harry Potter as a kid, so I'll go Harry Potter.
Harry
Um,
Potter, just the whole series, one big
the
movie,
whole
because isn't
the
that how
whole
it's best?
series.
A day
Yeah.
of Harry Potter.
I quite like the Matrix series as well, and I also quite like Mission Impossible.
Now, hang on. The
I'll go
Matrix
those three.
series, have you seen number four?
I have.
What were your thoughts?
I thought it was good.
I did
Like
too. Why did everybody
not
hate on Matrix 4? I wanted more, I wanted more of the relationship between Neo and who's the girlfriend? Neo and oh my gosh, her name eludes me. But I wanted a
it's
lot more of that. I wanted to see them, I just wanted to see them in action. Get rid of the side characters and focus on them. Let me see them blossom in those movies. I'm with you. I loved one, two, and three. I really enjoyed number four. I felt like it was a great little addition. I just needed more. I needed more.
yeah.
And just to round up, what would you like your viewers, your audience that turns in to watch you and chat with you every time that you go live? What would you like them to know about you?
Um, I'm always happy to play with them. I know a lot of people think because like I mainly do solo stuff or whatever that I'm not always around to help people, but I'm always happy to help people do stuff. Pantheons, onslaughts. Those are the two most common ones right now.
And you are happy with the current state of affairs inside the game with Pantheon and Onslaught?
Oh, I love it. Yeah. I think they're
And
great.
ATP, will you be a God Slayer at the end of all of this?
I will be.
You will be. We have to ask, Guardians, these are the hard questions.